even more implications of whatever Angie found. A test? Yes, listen well. Once again, there was a call from Kraus to the guest house, and the message was that Kinzo wanted to hold a test to see if the grandchildren had qualifications to become his successor. Hooray, the good part! The head was said that his successor will not be one of us siblings, and that he wants to pick from amongst his grandchildren. From Kraus's restrained style of speech, Jessica realized his daughter was being forced to speak, and she was forced to realize the hostages were being exposed to danger even now, and that if they refused this test, there was a possibility that the hostages would be harmed. Then, what should we do? Indeed. Hold on. Kraus put down the receiver and looked at the grinning Kinzo on the other side of the bars. Kinzo gave his next order. Before the test, those not involved must be removed. Goda and Kumasawa are there, I believe. It would be a problem if they interfere with the test. Banish them from the guest house. Banish, you say? There should be a guarding storehouse in the rose garden. Lock Kumasawa and Goda in there. We'll begin from there. Tell them to do it immediately. My weapons will be watching. If they happen to do anything questionable, I'll instantly stop the test and execute all of you as sacrifices. I understand. Hello, Jessica. Listen closely to what I say. Grandpa's a little fucking crazy right now. Kraus relayed the orders to lock up Goda and Kumasawa. What kind of test are you planning? It truly is a simple test. I only want my grandchildren to show me their resolve. Well, then I wonder what kind of results they'll show me. Oops, let's try that again. Well then, I wonder what kind of results they'll show me. Looking disgusted, Kyrie watched Kraus, who was talking with the children. I hate it, but for now we cannot refuse orders. In this dungeon, a feeble resistance won't amount to anything. If we provoke him too much and drive him into a position where he might kill us, there will be no longer any way to stop this murderer. For now, the only choice left is to obey his rules without agitating him, all the while waiting for an opportunity. However, if we continue to obediently follow his commands, the children might be attacking this so-called test. They might even lose their lives. Whether we feign obedience or try to resist, nothing will cause the situation to improve. Anyway, straining our eyes so that we don't let a single chance escape until the very end is the only possible resistance now. While telling herself this, Kyrie watched over Kraus as he delivered Kinzo's orders. Kyrie, let us be patient. I understand. It's unfortunate, but all we can do right now is wait. If only we could do something about these bars, we'd be able to return to the mansion. If only we could get out of here somehow. I'll try something. Kinzo, I have a request. I'd like to wear Gap's dress. What is it, my friend? We understand well that you want to test the children. It is fine for you to do as you desire. Without your power, the Ushiromiya family might have been destroyed long ago. We truly understand why you want to carefully select the person who will take charge. Besides, that is what the family conference is all about. We won't get in your way. Your insight is useful. That's right. This is the family conference. The final family conference where I will select my successor. And yet, Kinzo, it is far too cold here. Since we won't interfere with your tests, couldn't you take us to a slightly warmer place? You know, not with AC, but a fireplace or something. And don't burn us alive like you did in the previous games. As Nanjo's words, the slight signs that Kinzo's mood had been improving were blown away. Nanjo was struck with a moment of silence as Kinzo gazed at him with dangerous eyes, as though appraising him. You dare ask for a fireplace or somewhere warm? I'm not a hotel!
Please don't let anyone wearing this dress show up. Certainly this place is cold. It's tough on the old body. Master, wouldn't it be alright if we move them upstairs?
I cannot do that! Are you naive, Nanjo? By acting as though you'll skip this turn, you truly splendidly advance your strategy. I'm not falling for that, you see. And if you're freezing, why don't you line the floor with red-hot coals?
My apologies. Vergiliae had tried to help out, but in the end, Kinzo would not comply.
And also don't ask to wear that dress. I don't care for you. You're not Beatrice. Or Hatsune Miku.
You two sure are obedient. If you felt like it, you could easily break these bars.
Even if we break them, nothing will come of it.
Of course. If you were to break these, it would mean the end of Goldsmith's game. All of you, as well as those humans in the guest house, would immediately become sacrifices for Kinzo's ceremony. But surprisingly, you two might be the only ones, yes. Perhaps only you two hold the power to break out of this situation, right? You want to reach the Golden Land, don't you? You must have many dreams that you wanted to be granted, right? Gap, you mustn't provoke them. This is not your game. It is the Master's as well as Milady's game.
What is it, Ronove?
Oh no, nothing. We were talking to the prisoners. Forgive us.
Gap sent one final sneering smile at Kano and turned away. Kano could only bite his lower lip and shake his fist.
Damn it.
You did well. Good job hanging in there.
We were powerless because we're furniture.
That's right, we're powerless. However, furniture is sometimes relied upon and even loved. Right now, we've only been stored away in a basement. Surely one day somebody will love us, because they'll rely on us. That's why for now, let's ignore their provocation and bear with it. Okay?
Father! Oops, my bad. Let's try that again. Father, I've ordered them to lock up Goda and Kumasawa in the storehouse.
Very well. Hang up now. Chester sisters, observe the grandchildren as they lock Goda and Kumasawa away. If they do anything suspicious, then in that moment the selection test for my successor will be over.
When Kinzo made his orders, the Chester sisters appeared behind him in a line.
Understood, sir. We will scout. 506... Understood, sir. I will scout. 556 and 410 will cover both flanks. 45, you're on the wide area of surveillance.
00. 556 is...
That's right. Sorry.
She was a good kid. That's why I don't like them, yeah. Good people.
Oh. Look, it's one of Maria's bunnies. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway.
What are you doing, Chester sisters? Follow my orders!
My apologies, sir. Then let us go observe. Move out. I don't know if I can find that tip. Yep, that's the Chester lore. Because I don't know if the tip is in here. Because it's probably in one of the side stories in Umineko. And it's not like I have access to the side stories, so I'll just say what I know from the side stories. The Chester sisters erased their forms simultaneously. Nanjo and Kiri had witnessed the instance they appeared and disappeared as if by teleportation. But they interpreted this as moving in and out of the darkness in a way that only looked like teleportation. And the two could do nothing but rub their eyes. Because it's like how Sakutaro is represented by a stuffed animal, like the ceramic dolls are like the bunnies. I mean, I don't think it's ever revealed in the visual novel, so I'll just go ahead and say it. Oh!
Well then, I shall begin the preparations for the test. Ronove, Cap, I'm asking you to be the examiners. For Virgilia, you'll watch these rats. After all, 2 of my furniture are here. Just in case, be on your guard.
He glanced at Shannon and Canon. Tightly closing her eyes, Shannon gave a silent bow and answered wordlessly, avoiding any unnecessary actions. Oh! Well, shit. I didn't know that. I mean, there's also an extra one where actually 556 actually gets focus and actually is alive in one of the side stories. Certainly. I will be careful. Isn't this cold hard on your old body, Leah? Should I bring you a hot water bottle? Shut up! Go quickly! Gap! Yeah, the Gap store. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'll try it. Let's see. Also, the hot water bottle. I know what those are. I've seen it. You can actually wait, never mind. I won't talk about that. Well now, what a strange experience this game is to have to test and examiners. I do hope this development entertains milady. Come, arise, goat attendants. Virgilia began to call out into the darkness, and from that spot, 3 massive goat-headed attendants suddenly appeared. I miss my wife, Battler. I miss her a lot. What the hell are you talking about, Ronov? He's like, oh, love you. Oops, I messed up. Let's try that again. I miss my wife, Battler. I miss her a lot. What the hell are you talking about, Renove? Ah, Beato's minions. How convenient. Plus they seem so warm. I see. So you'll use them instead of a hot water bottle. In that case, wouldn't sheep have been better than goats? You're the one wearing cashmere. They aren't very bright, but they'll faithfully follow orders and are quite dependable.
Indeed, I leave it to you, my friend Virgilia. The rest of you follow me.
With a dignified gesture, Kinzo fluttered his cloak. Following him were Renove and Gap, as well as the 3 recently summoned goat attendants. Hey, you 3 are supposed to wait here with me. Don't follow them. The goats jumped in surprise and came tottering back. Kyrie, who had been watching stunned as all this played out, couldn't help but snort. What entertaining underlings. Lord Goldsmith did not give you permission to speak. She was probably embarrassed. Virgilia had spoken coolly, but Kyrie had saw through that, and for a little while, she couldn't restrain her muffled laughter. However, on the inside, Kyrie was surprised as the number of the people Kinzo had with him. After all, including Kinzo himself, at least 10 enemies had already been spotted. The dungeon they were currently locked in was supposedly underneath the hidden mansion called Kuadorian. Although this mansion had never been whispered of, not even Cross had known of its existence until today. Are there actually some of its facilities like this, I don't know, Kenjima, where many unknown henchmen that only Kinzo knows of hide? Just how many humans are on Rokenjima locked away by this typhoon? No, on the contrary. Were we the only ones under the impression that there were only 18 people on this island? Were we who bickered over whether Beatrice existed or not, worried about whether a 19th person existed or not? Nothing more than the frogs in the well on this island. No, wait, not only that. By now, there are actually more people on the enemy's side than on ours. Just what the hell is going on? Witches, demons, magic? Are you telling us to believe in those? Are my eyes screwed up, or is it my head? I think I'm losing it. A mass murder by magic, demons forming and disappearing into thin air, setting aside from the enemy's numbers. How should we interpret the various things thrust before our eyes that cannot be explained with the common sense of our world? Kyrie started to feel like she didn't know what was going on anymore, and while desperately battling the urge to abandon everything and give up, she grit her teeth and tried to hold on to her sanity. Obviously, Goda and Kumasawa were quite unwilling to be locked up in the Rose Garden shed, but they were threatened that if they resisted, the hostages' safety could not be guaranteed. It was fairly hard to get them to agree, but once they started thinking that their safety might actually be guaranteed if the key to the gardening storehouse was to be handed to them after being shut inside, and when it was decided the blankets and food would be carried in for them, they were finally convinced.
This place is pretty chilly. I wonder how long we'll have to be stayed locked in here.
It could be as late as Monday morning at the worst, so a full day and night. I feel bad about doing this to you two. George and Ballard cleared a space on the floor and spread the blankets there. They also left the canned food and crackers and other light snacks they had bought. It'll be hard for you guys to go until Monday with just this. If only we could make a trip to the kitchen. They said not to go anywhere we weren't told to. Sounds like we're being watched. Damn. I am honestly sorry that we cannot be of any use, and these are the times that we are truly supposed to be at your sides. It can't be helped. More importantly, take care of Kumasawa. We don't know what might happen. If the going gets tough, I'd like you to play it by ear and come to the rescue. And more than anything, I want you to be safe. Yes, I understand. Please be careful, everyone. Right now, the master is taking human lions like they're pieces on a chessboard. Please look out for yourselves. Koro stared at the floor, even now, unable to believe what had happened as he remembered the atrocity in the dining hall, and he hung his head in shame at his failure to fully describe that terror. Thank you. Make sure you stay on your guard. You too, Kumasawa. And you all please take care as well. I don't have any idea what's going on anymore. Well then, we'll be off. Let's go, Ballard. Jessica. Come on, you too, Maria.
Ah!
Looking at the pitiful expressions on the imprisoned pair's faces, it got really hard to close the shutter. We can't disobey. We're being watched. The shutter was brought down and locked. Then George walked toward the small window on the side of the storehouse. At the side there was a small lattice window that could only admit light and ventilation. It looked like something from a jail, making the two of them seem even more pitiable. While on the other hand, it would hopefully protect him from Kinso and his subordinates. He opened the window and called out. Are you okay? You aren't cold, are you? We're okay. You've given us so many blankets after all. If we wrap ourselves up, we'll be just fine. I wish we could have brought them a kerosene stove or something. But it wouldn't have ventilation here. It'd probably be tough for them, but there's nothing we can do now. Hostages are being held against us. We can't disobey. Damn it! We managed to save Kiri and the rest somehow. Shh. They might be listening. Goda, here. It's the key to the shutter. Indeed. I'll hold on to it. Goda took the key and showed it to Kumasawa and placed it in his own pocket. There's only one key to the guarding shed's shutter. That key was being held by the ones locked up inside it. If the children had kept it and had been stolen from by some chance, that would do nothing but to expose the lives of those to the shed in danger. Even with the key, the shutter could not be opened from the inside. Kinzo's demands were fulfilled this way. However, there was no longer any way to open the shed from the outside either. This protected them. Kinzo had ordered that they could be confined, and we could do nothing but trust that this cold, closed room would protect them. Jessica watched us while holding Maria's hand and looked over the thickets in the pitch-black rose garden. Somewhere in this darkness, somebody was watching to see whether we obeyed orders or not, and hiding. Oops, my bad. Of course, when we pointed our flashlights out there, no suspicious silhouettes appeared, but somebody was surely out there watching and waiting. I was hit many times with the urge to scream at them, but I wasn't able to hold back that urge through that reason. The four children left the area repeatedly, looking back over their shoulders. I don't know why I keep messing up. The light from the faint light bulb from the guarding storehouse was seeping out slightly. I wonder if this insane incident will come out to an end somehow, so that we can meet those two again. To George, who had closed the shutter himself, the resistance of the lock had made it feel as though he killed them with his own hands. But even so, we can't defy them. What's with this test? Damn geezer, don't screw with us. Killing Mom and capturing Dad for that? I don't get it, I'll kill him!
It's okay, Jessica. There's nothing to be sad about.
Maria.
Soon the witch will be revived. Soon we'll be able to meet in the Golden Land.
Don't laugh indiscreetly like that. Seriously, a resurrection ceremony for a witch? Getting so many people involved. In delusions he just should have kept inside his head. It's gonna cost you, bastard! Let's return to the guest house. It'll be bad if we aren't there when grandfather calls. Urged on by George, everyone began walking toward the guest house. At that moment, Jessica turned in a circle, walking face toward the darkness of the rose garden and roared. Hey! Someone's watching, right? Tell the old man! Tell him I'm gonna fucking kill him! Let's go! Of course, there was no reply, only the howl of the wind and rain. The children returned to the guest house, while fearing what was waiting for them ahead. After they left, from the exact point in the darkness that Jessica had yelled at, 2 rabbit ears sprung up. Sorry! They found me out! It's because you're too slow, Nya. Pendragon's gonna scold you. I'm sorry, please don't tell Pendragon! Be quiet. It was obviously just a bluff. Goda and Kumasawa's imprisonment confirmed. Mission complete. We'll report back. Yay! Ow! Do you want us all stuck on nothing but carrots and water because of collective responsibility? Let's go. The fact that they were being watched certainly seemed to be true, because when they returned to the cousin's room and turned the lights on and lay down in their beds, the phone rang again. Earlier, Jessica had been answering the phone, seeing that this was her house, but now it was the eldest George who picked it up. This time, Kyrie was on the other end of the line. George handed it to Balor out of consideration. Hello? Kyrie? Is everything all right over there? Thanks for worrying. At the moment, we're all doing great here. Sorry, I've been ordered to refrain from idle chatter. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The fact that they were hostages still hadn't changed. Kinzo, one of his subordinates, was listening into the conversation. Balor restrained the urge to talk about other things and focused on what Kyrie had to say. The test will be carried out by Jessica, George, and Balor, and Maria in that order. You'll each be summoned in turn, so until then, do not leave the room. When someone's called out, they'll head to their designated location alone. Balor repeated that out loud, so the cousins listening in around him could hear. So it'll be Jessica, Aniki, me, and Maria in that order. And we've got to stay in that room until we're called, right? Got it. Maria too? Even a 9-year-old girl? What is that damn geezer trying to force us to do, that bastard? The fate of the Ushinomiya family rests in all your hands. Do your best. Sure. Balor, noticing the strange nuance in Kyrie's words. Even without any blood connection, he could still understand thanks to the long-lasting bond they shared. At this point, it doesn't make sense to worry about the Ushinomiya family itself. That probably wasn't the message Kyrie wanted to send. She probably meant there's no way for us to escape from this dungeon, and we can only wait to be rescued. Our lives are in your hands. Something like that. Yeah, leave it to me. We don't know what kind of test it is, but no problem. I'll take it gladly. It's gonna be a serious test, right? Should we really go all out? Yes, it's a serious test. Grandfather truly does intend to test you all. It's useless. It's all useless. Some old fart on death's order is gonna give me a serious challenge. Let him spout nonsense after he gets in the coffin. I know he's there, so tell him this for me. I'll be your I don't know what the hell's going on with my mouth. Let's try that again. It's useless. It's all useless. Some old fart on death's door is gonna give me a serious challenge. Let him spout nonsense after he gets in the coffin. I know he's there, so tell him this for me. I'll be your successor, and my first action will be shove my fist into your face! Even without Kyrie having to repeat it, Balor's powerful declaration of war reached Kinzo's ears. Battler! I
I'm truly looking forward to that! I can't wait to see what the man who once threw away the Ushinomiya name has attained. Just what lot in life he's reached when he appears before me. Tell him!
Unfortunately, Kinzo's voice was not picked up by the receiver. Therefore, Kirie spoke for him. It sounds like he's more than up for the challenge. Got that, Battler? There's no need to hold back. You are Rudolph's son. No, you are my son. Show me something I can brag about to anyone. I leave everything in your hands. Seriously, though. Need to brag to other cousins, like other Asian moms. Understood, Mom. Leave the rest to me. All of us here has lost the right to inherit the position of its successor. Now we're the same as pieces being taken off the game board looking out from the outside. So you'll have to fight by yourselves. Kyrie. The nuance of those words meant we've already given up, so forget about us. But for that very reason, I won't give up. I'll definitely crush this test or whatever and save everyone. In that case, here's his instructions for the first test. Jessica, go to your room. Really? Go to your room? What's your game, you damn geezer? It seems he means Jessica's personal room, the one to the mansion. I'll hand it over to Jessica. Tell her directly for me. Jessica, here.
Jessica, go to your room. You're grounded.
Just kidding. Hello? Yes, I understand. Starting with me, huh? Well, I've been ready. See you later! Even Jessica was probably tempted to succumb to the fear of a girl her age, but she crushed those feelings and strengthened her resolve. Be careful, okay? We're probably being watched, right? We can't do anything we aren't told. All we can do is exactly what they say. They say that old geezer killed those 6 in the dining hall instantly with no hesitation, so if we try to fight back, we might end up the same way. I know. I'll beat them at their own game. Don't do anything reckless. If you think you're in any danger, your own safety comes first. If Uncle Cross finds out that his daughter sacrificed herself for him, there's no doubt it'll tear his heart apart. It goes the other way, too. If Mom and Dad are both killed and I'm the only one left, my heart will rip itself to pieces. Battler, what you said earlier is true, right? Yeah. Kyrie and the others are already prepared for what will happen. Then the way things are now are just perfect. Everyone's lives rest on our shoulders. The hostages can't do anything while they're locked up. That means we'll have to manage something ourselves. If something happens, run back to the guest house. At that time, we'll be done playing along with Grandfather's game. Aniki. At that time, we'll declare war. Wherever they're locked up, we'll save them, and we'll deal with Grandfather accordingly. Are you sure, Aniki? Shannon's there too. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not sitting around and waiting for my fiancé to be killed. What scares me is not that Shannon might be killed by Grandfather. I'm just worried that you guys will get there first and clobber the damn geezer who made my fiancé experience terror before I do. I see. This really does sound like a test to see who will be the successor. Yep. The first one to bury a fist into that old face will be the next head. George, Battler, and Jessica each forcefully nod their heads and put their fists together. Oh, I can't wait. Jessica headed off to her own room as designated. Her form disappeared into the darkness of the rose garden, waving into the strong winds. Watching her go, George and Battler gripped their fists even tighter, making them quiver. Left on the second floor, Maria watched Jessica's back through the window. She wore a blank expression.
I wonder what everyone's getting so upset about. Even though Beatrice has survived, everyone will be brought back to life.
Jessica's form was already completely swallowed up by the darkness. At the time, the phone began to ring again. Battler and George heard it and came clamoring back, but Maria picked up the receiver right away.
Hello?
Is that Maria? Oh wait.
Is that Maria? It's me, Shannon. Would you please hand the phone to George?
This time it was Shannon on the phone, and this time the message was to tell the next person, George, where he was to go. Well,